Remember those days in school when all the hot topics were debated in the cafeteria? Politics, religion, relationships, everything took place in that one room. That was the best class of the year. Well, guess what? That class is back. The Cool Table.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Cool Table. This is the place where cool people come to compete in a friendly war of words. We will cover topics ranging from pop culture, music, sports, community issues, relationships, and sex. The object of the show is to talk your talk, be funny, charismatic, but all the while making great points in order to win the debate. Panelists will be awarded cool points based on their answers that have some humor and some perspective in it. I'm your host, Ola, of the Cool Table. Today, we're getting a little serious here at the Cool Table. I have four great panelists who are here to discuss the recent presidential election. To my far right, I'll let him introduce himself.
Hello, world. My name is Jamed. I'm a DJ, performer, educator, and survivor of East New York, Brooklyn.
Welcome, Jamed. Glad to have you here. Closest to me, I have she's back. She's a veteran of the Cool Table. I'll let her introduce herself.
Hi, I'm Awa. I work in corporate finance, and I have extreme political views, so that's why I'm here.
Right, all right. I got two rookies to my left. I know one of them pretty familiar. I'm pretty familiar with one of them, but closest to me, I have a beautiful young lady here. She's going to introduce herself.
Hi, my name is Wanda. I also work in corporate finance, mergers, and acquisitions, so I have a really, really rebellious view on things.
Okay. Nice to have you here, Wanda.
Thank you.
And furthest to my left, a guy who has the same DNA as me, but I'll let him introduce himself.
Alavi the Great, born and bred in Brooklyn, well does better than well said, by way of Nigeria.
All right. Y'all hear that? Right there, Nigeria, we got it all in here. We are in shock, I guess. Well, not everybody, I guess. 2016 presidential election came to a close, and we have a new president-elect, and it's not the person that the polls or the pundits said who would win. Donald Trump will be the president of the United States. Whew. It's a little chill. I know it's chilly in here, but that just said chills through my spine. What are our thoughts? I'm going to start with the ladies. Wanda, what are your thoughts on Donald Trump winning the presidential election?
It's just like any other president. There's nothing to be afraid of. I don't understand why people will have this extreme scare of this man. He's no different from Bush, from Reagan, Nixon. It all goes down the line. It does nothing. Him being in the office does nothing for me.
I second that, and I would like to add Clinton and Obama to that list.
Yes.
Because as far as we're concerned, people who look like us, who cares? Like, we've gone through so much worse, it doesn't even make sense for us to be afraid of a candidate or a president who is just outwardly racist. We've been dealing with outwardly and closeted racists our entire existence on this continent.
So before I get to the fellas, don't you think it counts for something, ladies, of the things he said out of his mouth? Doesn't it count for something for everybody taking it in that he has to now govern, knowing that he said that?
I mean, I'd rather know what you feel about me than say it in the closet.
Facts.
So if you're coming to my face and you're telling me you don't like me, I will respect you because you're telling me that. I don't need you to be a closet racist and then you say you like me, but then under the surface you doing things to me that you know are ungodly, unjustly. So tell me you don't like me, and I know how to deal with you accordingly.
Not only that, but there are plenty of policies that are in place right now that are racist, that are detrimental to people who look like us. Okay? So to me, I will take someone who says racist things over someone who has done racist things any day. So when I say that, I'm thinking of Hillary Clinton, for example. We all know about the the super predators comment, you know, like the dog whistle politics and the, you know, playing to Americans' fears. That's the only way that Bill Clinton got elected.
That's right.
In 92
and 96.
Like,
Okay.
but they were doing the exact same thing that Trump just did, except Trump wasn't smart enough or he's not a politician, so he doesn't have
That's a good
he doesn't
point.
have the skills to do it like the dog whistle politics.
Right.
Okay.
And many people don't even know what that means.
Okay.
Right.
So he's speaking to people who don't know what that means. They need to hear it outwardly. So he's gonna be the one, and they picked him, and
And that's it right there.
congratulations.
To the fellas, Alabi, what do you think about all this going on? You can throw Hillary in there. We might as well, you know, throw her in there, and they already said it. What do you think is going on in this country right now with the election of Donald Trump?
Well, the voters have spoken. I mean, the antithesis of that is that she did win the popular vote. But I think since some of the panelists here talked about racism, I think this is the perfect storm for black people. Because this is nothing haven't seen before. 15 years ago, people said the same thing about George W. Bush. We've experienced Jim Crow, other forms of racism. Since we've been on these shores, we've experienced racism at various points. When have we as black people ever been comfortable? When have we as black people ever been able to take a rest? So I think this is the perfect storm for us to continue to do the things we have to do, and we will rise, and we will be prominent, and we will continue to focus on excellence like we've always done. So our back has always been against the wall. The foot has always been on our neck. So it's really not about what Donald Trump is, and that is important. I actually thought he would lose too. I thought he was put up there for Hillary to win. But at the end of the day, we have to think globally and act locally. So if people are upset, which you have a right to be upset, and some people are not upset, because 8 years ago, some people thought the same thing when President Obama was elected to office. But the most important thing is, what are you going to do in your communities?
Right.
And that starts with local politics as well.
Jamed, what's your thoughts about this whole thing?
I would say I'm definitely shocked because I thought he was the puppet to get Hillary Clinton in, and that didn't work out. I think coming from 8 years of the illusion that Obama was taking care of certain people, I think right now what we're experiencing is what they call the white lash of like, what we need to be serious about is looking, because it's already happening. Like, white people all around the country are really, really feeling empowered. They're feeling like this whole, they are really into that. We're taking our country back. So a lot of that extreme racism that never really stopped, Trump getting in right now is like refueling them on a whole nother level. But I think, like everyone is saying, is like, I think this is exactly what black people need. They need the truth, right? Because Obama, I don't know, like the illusion of it was comfortable of him being there and having his black man in office and his beautiful black family to look at. But the reality is that statistically, he was probably worse than George Bush and his his administration carried through policies that were, you know.
So I've talked with Al about this. I thought the symbolism of Obama being president goes just as far and probably further than the policies in terms of young people can see. I saw a man who looks like me, ascend to the highest office in the land. The statistics speak for themselves. I'm not gonna lie, but I've always said this: he's the president of the United States. If his policies were to go and be skewed towards blacks, it may not be best for the country.
No, because but here's the problem, right? Like we've already stated, we've been living under like an oppressive racist system our entire existence here, right? There have always been policies that were skewed towards the whites, okay? Now, if in our minds, and I was only like 21 in 08, like I think in our minds, we all thought that having a black president, at the very least, he could have done something, anything to like help right some of that wrong, because up until the Bush, like there's always policies in place that are skewed towards white people. Okay, so but
they're the majority of the country.
But but if there's ever going to be a president to do something to help right that wrong,
It should have been him.
It should have been him.
It should have been
doesn't
him.
make sense to me that it isn't him.
Yes.
Okay.
And I will not be able to forgive him for that.
I'm sorry.
like, like we were bamboozled. Like
Yes.
I was very pro-Obama.
So
but
was I.
started seeing in like 2010 with the Obamacare and how that went. To me, that's when I started losing like respect for him, and my views of him started to diminish greatly. And then I woke up.
Okay, Alabi?
You're saying Obamacare, and you have the right to your opinions, but what did we have before Obamacare? Millions of
Nothing.
people did not have health care. And I do understand, but remember, you have to judge a person by their principles. Did he say that he was going to be the president of just black
It's
people?
not about that.
No,
I
but you
never
said
said.
it. You said-
I
you
never
said that-
say
I
that.
never.
You said that he didn't do enough
No, he didn't do anything.
Nothing. He
didn't do anything.
Anything.
Wanda,
He
what,
didn't
what do you say? I'm gonna wrap up the segment with Wanda. What do you agreeing with her?
Yes, I am. I mean, I feel like each president that's come in has put things geared towards a certain group of people. Everyone has gotten their just due, except us.
And his was the
And-
LGBT.
And I feel like
She's right on that. I've
she
never
took that
heard
from me. Like he went that way. That was his civil rights duty. He didn't do anything for black people.
Anything?
Not
No,
my
that's
brother's
J-
keeper.
Jamal.
My brother's
Wait,
keeper is
can I-
not policy. My brother's keeper is not policy. Do not
come
bring
on,
that
come
up.
on.
It is
All
not
right,
policy.
all right,
That's
all
it.
right.
No.
All right. To
Shut
wrap
that
up,
down.
to wrap up
Shut it
the
down.
segment, Jamel, I'll give you the
All
last
right, all
word.
right. So let me just add on this, right? Like, I think part of the beauty and the trickery of America is to get us to have this conversation like Obama or any president has the power.
Yes.
That's true.
Let's be
telling
like
you.
That's
let's be clear on it. Doesn't matter who's in that office, and who the president is a spokesperson of what this. Like you have the Congress and all other
Yes.
stuff, but then you have a whole nother government
Of course.
that we don't have time to talk about.
of course.
I understand that.
I know
Hold on. This country is masterminding this situation
It is.
of making you fight over stuff that they already planned out
They're the
20,
puppet
50,
master.
like 50 years ago.
Okay.
So with Obama, it's like I'm not disappointed in Obama because I know that everyone felt for the illusion that he was going to do something when that wasn't his power. And he would have to risk his life to do something for
agree.
us, and I didn't,
Okay.
and I never thought that was
However,
it.
I only know that now because of Obama.
Yes, that's true.
So
So
that's what he has taught me.
That-
And that is why I don't care
then
who's
he's taught you
president.
something.
He has, yes, absolutely,
nothing
yes.
before.
No, I say he hasn't
He's done anything.
He's
Yeah.
done some
He's
good.
done
though.
okay.
He's
No,
done some
he's
good.
he's
done
taught
a lot
me
of
that
things.
there will never be a president or anyone at that level who can actually do anything for us.
me,
We have to do
okay.
everything for ourselves,
And
and
that-
that is why I'm starting a political action committee.
All right, guys. That was we started off real lovely. We're gonna get to our next segment, which is Three the Hard Way. Right? We talked about we're all African American, or we have something in us that's saying, what did he do for blacks? We disagree on certain things. She says nothing.
My brother's
We
keeper
see-
is
yeah.
not policy. It is a private
We're gonna-
foundation funded by private money.
We're gonna-
Once it runs out, it's over.
We're gonna say three the hard way. It's our segment where we get to choose three. What are the top three things black people need to do to empower themselves going forward? What are the top three things? I'm gonna start with Jay.
The top three things I think black people.
And let's
need
just
to
list
do.
them real quick, and then
All right,
try to get to
So,
everybody.
so the top three things I would say. One is that black people need a collective vision of what they want to manifest. Right? That's one. Two, I would say we need to be able to develop a certain mindset that allows us to kind of deprogram from the conditioning from people that don't care about us, and so basically unplug from stuff that's not really working out for us, right? And then three would be just do more 1 and 2. I don't know.
Alabi, I'll let the girls go first. I'm gonna let the guys go first this time.
I would say that one of the main things we need to do is to first, of course, educate our kids. Educate them about their history. A lot of the times the way in which our kids are acting is because they don't know who they are. They don't know the great stock, the great presence that they've come from. They don't know about their ancestry from Africa all the way until now. So any group that is about themselves and about self-preservation, they know about the history. They know why they
Yes.
move in the way they move. because as a common one said, this Western way of life is not native to us. Secondly, I would say financial stability and literacy.
Yes.
Any group that has any type of political power
Has economic
clout.
Yes.
And just as our brother Jamed said, we need a vision. We are not a monolithic people, so there will be some differences. But you have to have a vision and a destiny for where you want to go collectively. And just maybe 3 or 4, I would say even food.
Yeah.
What are we eating? What are we getting into our bodies? Because it is true, you've heard, you are what you eat. So if you eat junk food, you have junk thoughts.
That's true. Wanda?
The 3 things we need to do is get out of the crab in the barrel syndrome.
Okay.
We also need to understand that even though we're educating ourselves and we think we're elevating ourselves in life, we're really not. We're still stagnant.
So you're saying, just to ask you a question about that, we're zero sum, like it's like inertia for us. It's like we think we're doing something, proving ourselves, social media, and a lot of things we put out there to show that we may have made it, but we really haven't done
we're
it.
not. We're not making it.
Okay.
So we have to understand what we have to do collectively as black people so we can actually make it within each other.
Okay.
We're not going to make it in this America that's created for us.
Okay.
So we have to make it on our own with each other.
Okay.
And if and the third thing is we got to trust each other. You have to trust each other in order to build a nation. That's the main thing.
Okay,
I agree with what everyone said. The only thing I would add to it is stop blindly voting for the Democrats because they are not for you.
For black people, yes, I would say that we have been blindly voting for not blindly. They proved out themselves back in the 60s with civil rights and things like that. We need to keep them on notice.
We disagree.
Disagree.
Civil rights was not for black people. They grouped everyone in there.
Somebody said
more black people.
Somebody
There's women in there. There's people of color from everywhere. There's people in there who have never been slaves and built this country.
Okay.
It is not for black people. That is an illusion. That is a
I said they proved themselves because it allowed access to other groups into a certain. It was an act that allowed access to other groups into a certain area. So I'm going to wrap up 3 the hard way in saying that we got to do a lot of things as African Americans to. The election of Donald Trump might have been the greatest thing that happened to African Americans.
I agree.
I agree.
Because if Hillary had won,
yes, we would have the illusion.
Pacifier in our mouth still.
Exactly.
Yes.
We'd be like happy, like, oh yeah, Hillary.
That's what 3 the hard way.
You used to call me on my cell phone. Hello? Late night when you need my love.
Looking in the mirror, I saw my nose swollen and bleeding.
Call me on my cell phone. Late night when you need my love.
This wasn't just any fight. There was hatred in every punch and kick.
I know when that hotline bling, baby, that could only mean one thing.
These dudes were all the way from Philly.
Ever since I left the city, you got a reputation for yourself now.
To be honest, he was an entire mess on campus. A player, to say the least. And I knew that would be a headache in and of itself. But I convinced myself, you can do this, Leah. You won't get wrapped up in him. You're smarter than the rest of these females. You won't fall in love.
Everybody knows that I've left out. Oh, you got me down, you got me stressed out. Ever since I left the city, you started wearing less and going out more. Bottles of champagne out on the dance floor. Hanging with some dudes I never seen before. No. You used to call me on my cell phone.
All right, guys. Usually here at the Cool Table, coming back from my last segment, you guys see that we didn't keep score. We thought that we give everybody a platform because we thought everybody's points were great, and we didn't keep score on this episode because we think everybody's a winner on this topic. We're African Americans, and we all chime in on something that we need in our community to make us better. But we got to go forward. We're Americans, and we're African Americans, and I'm going to ask everybody at this table, I'm gonna give them their time because we're all winners here. To go on the camera and tell people out there, what do we need moving forward as Americans, as African Americans, as female Americans, as anything? Jamed, what do you have to say?
I would say what we need is what we're getting is this awakening that we need to know that the sky is falling for certain people. African Americans, Africans in this country, your time is now and your destiny is now, and you will survive all of this if you kind of purify yourself and you align yourself with the universe, not with the government, not with America, not with TV. If you align yourself with the universe, you good, because this day has been read, it's been prophesied. But crackers ain't gonna survive, man. But yeah. A lot. Listen. The people that are not gonna survive, they're trying to take you with them, and you don't have to do that if you fortify yourself with the universe. So that's
right.
That was excellent. I mean, you guys got a lot to live up to right now. I'm gonna go to Wanda on this one. Let's see, Wanda. What do we got to do going forward? As any part of this country, what we have to do?
Well, for me, I'm gonna focus on the women. I feel like the women need to focus more on being good women to their men. They need to stop trying to be independent women so much and be more submissive and support their men and what they need and their drive and their mission. And I feel like maybe we will be more superior. We are in the man role too much. We need to sit down. We need to let a man lead and be the man that he is for us to be able to move forward the way we are. We are the caretakers of the home. We are going to make sure everything is like a lion. We're going to go out and we're going to hunt. We're going to make sure our king is okay. They're never going to go against that lion. So we need to look at it. We need to live like lions.
I know a lot of females gonna be emailing. They're gonna be emailing us about that. Wanda might have her own show. Yeah,
need her own show.
Well, you got a lot to live up to right there. What do we need to do?
God bless you.
Go ahead.
I wholeheartedly agree with what they both said, and I'm surprised that I even agree with what she said because I consider myself to be a feminist. But I've also recently learned that it's such a trick. I want to stay home. I don't want to go to work.
That's right.
So moving forward, I think what we have to do is we have to do like what other groups are doing. Like for example, the Jewish population. I think they're like 2% of the population, but they have like so much like political clout and like wealth and everything. I think that as African Americans, we need to have like our own APAC. If you don't know what APAC is, Google it, okay? And I'm actually working on trying to start one because what we need to do first, I don't think, like, it doesn't even matter if we vote. Stop voting. Like, local levels, fine, but it needs to be, it needs to be coordinated, okay? It needs to be for the right individuals, and we need to stop voting down that Democratic line.
Yes. I think we can all agree with that. That was well said. A political action committee she was talking about. And lastly, we're going to have an alibi bring up the rear. You're going to close it out like Mariano Rivera alibi. Tell them what we need.
What black people need to do?
Just anybody in general that has any part to do with this country. If you want to focus on African Americans, they focused on women, or she focused on women. What do you have to say, alibi?
I would say mostly for African American people, but people in general. Somebody mentioned the universe. I believe there are no accidents. There's only a certain amount of heartbeats and steps you are going to take in this life. It is already preordained. We don't know that, so we should relentlessly pursue excellence. What does any group do that does that? They have a vision. And from that, you create a movement. And when you have a momentum, and from enough momentum, you have a movement. But every day that you wake up, you have to know who you are and what you're about. Because one way or another, you are showing people that. So if we give our kids truth, if we allow them justice, if we feed their minds, obviously in terms of food, but in terms of nourishment, in terms of accomplishments and excellence, and know from where they come, there is nothing that they can't do. And the great thing about it is that it will happen. Excellence will happen. We are not new to this. We are not foreign to this. If you remember correctly, they came to us to see how the world is made and to see how the world should be. So I think that's what we need to do, is to relentlessly pursue our truth and excellence and love.
That was great, Alan.
Tell him, sir.
I wish we had more time and stuff like that. And we're looking forward to our local elections in 2020. Our next few candidates. This has been a great cool tape. I wish we had more time, but you know what? I am so blessed to be around these four people today. I'm your main man, Ola, your host. I'd like to thank Jamed. Awa, Wanda, and Alabi for coming here and blessing us with a great show. You know where to email us at. You know what social platforms we're on. I'm at Ola again. Have a great day. We're all cool here at the Cool Table.